Good evening, AOB members, Brownsville ISD employees, and Brownsville. This is Veronica Borrego, AOB president. Hello, good evening. And next to me, I have Miss Ida. Hello, Miss Ida.
Hi. I hope everyone's having a good day today.
Yeah, it's been a long day, but I was talking to one of my coworkers, and we were talking about like we're almost there, trying to like pump each other up to make it to the end, right? We're almost there. We only have a little, maybe I think 6 weeks left, and we're pushing through. I mean, it's been tough. Right now, we've got transition arts going for fifth graders going to middle school, getting them ready for the STAR test, which is in a couple of weeks, and so it's like crunch time, and just trying to keep busy and positive and motivating each other, and it's been tough. How have you been, Miss Ida?
I've been pretty much hearing that end of from our different members. How do you feel as far as like your work? How many hours are you putting in per week right now with all these things that are going on?
A lot. I mean, there's not enough time in the day to get through like the paperwork, and so I mean, I get home and probably I'm up till like 1 or 2 in the morning trying to get, work on my making sure I have all my paperwork ready for my meetings and making sure I have stuff ready for my kids. And so, it's just kind of, we're just like really busy. I mean, it's a bit overwhelming, like we're tired. I'm like I feel like I'm crawling to the finish line,
Yeah.
like I'm just crawling and crawling, but we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there.
I think that's how a lot of the people are feeling right now. And I mean, as far as like the reason I was asking you about the hours, how many hours are worked, is because like everybody's telling me they're working like in an average of 60 to 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
And, but pretty much though, they've had that kind of year of working at that amount. Yeah, right now it's shifting towards different things like you mentioned, working the arts, preparing and all of that, preparing the students, the ones that are going out of elementary, the middle schools are preparing, trying to recruit for next year. I know a lot of the teachers in the elective classes are having issues because it's still not finalized as far as are they going to remove certain electives? Are they not? Are they going to limit how many electives to have next year? So that leaves your band classes, your choir, PE,
Art,
athletic,
dance. Yeah.
yeah, fighting for these students to see if these classes are going to make or not. And it's very frustrating for them of not knowing what's coming up next year. I mean, here we are, you said we're entering into the final 6 weeks and there's still so much that is up in the air. So it's been a very, very stressful year for all educators. And when we say all educators, we mean, everybody in working into public ed. There's been like so much changes, so many things, just when you thought you knew what you were going to expect in the school year, it's been a completely different year. And it's still changing on a weekly and sometimes even daily basis. Some of the things that we hear they're doing out there or trying to do is crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I know they're trying to encourage all of our students to be face to face, but it's creating an issue because some of these principals are overstepping certain boundaries and things like that. So, oh, Micaela's here, or I
She's
see her.
coming up.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay, great. So that's been a big issue that we've been seeing. A lot of people are just so burnt out, so ready. Some are saying, "Oh heck, I've always done summer school, but there's no way. There's no way I can do it this year. I really need to just kind of like, be able to disengage, recharge my batteries and stuff, because it's sad to say a lot of people are leaving the profession, and that's not what we want. It's not what we want. So we want people to hopefully, this summer they'll be able to recharge their batteries and come back, and hopefully to a more stable environment.
Yeah.
To because right now things are just changing too much. It's so different. I mean, I'll mention there's even like a campus out there that is pressuring the students so much to come back face to face that they're trying to deny the students access to certain classes. They're only letting them participate in their core classes. And that just is not doable. You cannot do that. You cannot restrict the students that they have to, you can't threaten them that they have to come in face to face, or else you don't participate in your electives, your music class, your choir, or anything like that. So I understand they're trying to think outside the box of how can we get them in the classroom, but it doesn't happen that way. It's not, and we're not going to allow that to happen. We will, expose people who are trying to do that. I understand you're trying to be creative, but what is the law is the law. What is in policy is in policy, and you can't deny certain students the right. As long as there is virtual instruction available for them out there, as long as TEA says it's available, you don't have the right to deny them certain instruction, or make up your own rules.
Right.
But wouldn't be the first, and it's sure not going to be the last, but we're going to continue to be on top of that.
Yep, we're going to keep addressing it and making sure that that doesn't stay the way it is right now. So
Absolutely. So
yeah. Let's talk about, I think Micaela might be having some issues with her internet. But let's talk about the Elon Musk money, Miss Ida.
oh my gosh, that was amazing, right?
Yeah, I mean, what a blessing, right? For him to come in and give us all this money. And I was really excited that he gave us so much more than he gave IDEA. Although I was upset that he still gave IDEA. But okay, I get it. But they gave the district a lot of money. So I'm curious as to where is this money gonna go? Where is it gonna go?
That is the $2 million question.
Over 2 million.
Over $2 million question. That is very important. And that is something that we are definitely going to have to stay on top of. And I don't mean just us as AOBE. I think everybody out there, it's important to ask these questions, because I believe in the interview or the statement that he gave to Channel 5, he said he wants to put a big chunk of this money, or I don't know if he said the entire amount of the money, towards a career and technology or vocational classes, which, you know what, we just want transparency, and we're talking true transparency of not just claiming transparency, but we want the true transparency as to where exactly it's going to. And if it's going to go towards that area, you know what, that's fine. But we know it frees up a lot of money from whichever area you're going to apply that to.
Well, I'm a little bit biased, and I would like for some of that money to go into other areas. I feel like we have so many other departments that are in need of money. That money could be going into stipends for all of us that have spent all this extra money during this pandemic to make sure that our kids are getting what they need to be getting. Um, it could go to facilities that are in great need of being updated or revamped or cleaned, or the ACs, the air conditioners, the filtration systems, the all of that stuff that's supposed to be helping protect. Like, that money could go into so many things. It could also go into the theater arts program. Hello, proud mom. But why does it all have to go into that one area? That's a lot of money.
Absolutely.
That's a lot of money to put in just one area.
Mm-hmm. And that's why I wish, oh my gosh, how I wish this administration, Dr. Gutierrez, and hopefully, and we'll give these ideas to the school board members about reaching out to their employees. Where do you feel is the biggest need? Because again, we've said it time and time again, they tend to disconnect a lot from their front line. The superintendent disconnects, sometimes the deputies and the area, what are they called now? Area superintendents or assistant superintendents. But they may think that this is the greatest need, but they're not out there in the classroom or at the campuses or at the departments to see what is really, really needed in order for them to try to accomplish all these things that are being put on them. And one of the things this raise that they're looking at or that they're considering for next year, they're considering a 2% raise. They're looking at a 2%, possibly maybe 3%. That's, I'm sorry, that's not enough. We have, because TSTA is statewide. So some of our other districts that we've seen, there's one way across in I believe it's in Socorro, that which is over there in the El Paso area. They approved a 4%. Get this, I thought this was amazing. A 4% raise plus a $1,000 stipend to everyone for to go out in May for an end of the year stipend, and a Christmas stipend of $1,000. Now, is that really amazing? I mean, that's looking out for your employees. So we need to start getting around in that area of a raise. We need to start taking care of our employees, because what we're doing so far is not enough. These employees have shown and have proven their loyalty to BISD and the students, and they deserve better. So what they're presenting right now, that is completely unacceptable. Plus, not to mention the ratios that they've been talking about, still cutting back in certain areas and things like that. I mean, come on, guys.
So I have a question with that in reference to that. If we're trying to cut back in certain areas, can we not go back and request that the board members revisit that, the fact that they added that every time we get a raise, the superintendent gets a raise? I mean, he makes a lot of money. I don't think that is necessary. That when I get a measly $100, he gets another 10,000.
Yeah.
So I don't think that's, I mean, if we're trying to cut down, well, then why can't we cut down there?
That is something that definitely needs to be revisited. That contract, that was ridiculous. And that's why I think, yes, it would benefit the teachers, because whatever he gets, that percentage for the teachers, he knows that he's pushing it for himself as well. But you know what? I think that man should say, I'm going to forego my portion of it, because I think I'm milking enough out of this district. I'm sorry. I think I'm getting, not exactly like that, but I think he definitely is getting paid more than enough for what he's doing. So I'll say it like that very nicely. But definitely he does not deserve a raise whenever the teachers get a raise. I'm sorry. I just don't. I don't think he even puts in half of the hours of what our educators are putting in. I just don't think that he is working until 1 o'clock or 2 o'clock in the morning, like some of these teachers are logged on, still
Daily.
submitting work. Yes, exactly.
And I can tell you that I'm not the only one, because as a teacher, I'm connected to different classrooms on my campus, and it'll be 1 in the morning, 1:30, and teachers are uploading assignments to be ready for the next day. We don't have time during the day to be doing that. Not even during our planning. We only have 45 minutes. That 45 minutes is like run to the restroom, make a copy, do this, do that. By the time you come back to the room, call parent, whatever, by the time you come back to the classroom, you couldn't get anything done, and it's already time to pick up your kids, and you're already moving on to the next thing. Mm-hmm. So, we don't have time in the day to be doing all this extra stuff. We have to do it at night. And it's at night after we've made dinner, taken care of what we need to be taken care of, helped our child with their homework, cleaned up, gotten clothes ready, gotten lunch ready, gotten whatever. By the time we're done with everything else we have to do, it's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock. We're barely sitting down to start working on it. But you know what? We still have to get it done. Mm-hmm. I don't clock out at 4 and I'm clocked out.
Yeah, absolutely.
I may be clocked out from the district by the time clock, but I'm not clocked out.
Yeah, I agree. And I think that's the majority of everybody. I mean, that is out there having to try to keep up with all of these things. So it's just, it's been very interesting. And, but I don't know if you want to go into some of the comments, because some of them were on the other topic.
Yeah, for sure.
So we don't leave it behind.
Hello, Miss Carrion.
Hi, Miss Tanya.
What is the plan for next year? Have you all heard anything? Up here in San Antonio, North ISD, they've already announced that virtual will be available for those who want it still, and face-to-face, of course. But what will happen at BISD?
That is a very important question. And Snoopy, you're very fortunate up there that in San Antonio, they're already giving you guys that. We still, it's so sad to say that we still don't have those answers. And here we go again. We're hoping it's not going to be a repeat of last year, where it was already like midsummer and they still didn't know, what was going to happen or things like that. They don't realize how these teachers start to prepare, and not only the teachers, but so do the parents. They need to know if is virtual going to be available if not. It's sad to say that some of these parents are going to start to shop around. They're going to start to look around, and that is going to impact staffing eventually at BISD. So I wish Dr. Gutierrez would already, for once, be one step ahead and be proactive in thinking of all these people and how it impacts them, and how their lack of decision making or planning affects all students and parents and staff.
Yeah.
So yeah, as of right now, we don't even know. And what's even worse is, welcome back, Brad. Thank you for coming back. What's even worse is that we're also seeing, for example, I believe, and I don't know if it was at all campuses, but now it just came out that some of the campuses are saying they're not going to provide asynchronous instruction. Have you heard anything about that, Ms. Vettel?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it. I have never had asynchronous because I'm special ed. I have 45-minute periods back to back, right? And so I never really had a asynchronous time. I just
Uh-huh.
have a class period after a class period. But yes, I've heard that. That's some calls have been coming in about that, and I believe that's at several campuses already.
It's already at several campuses that they're doing that. So was it a district-wide though decision that was made, or are the campuses
I'm
deciding that?
assuming that the campuses are doing it at the campus level. Um, I'm not sure that it was a directive. Um, I think it
Wow.
comes from them trying to figure out how to, you know, how are you closing the gap, or how are you trying to close the gap with the students by spending more time with them and stuff like that. So
You're
I
going
mean,
to close the gap by losing the students. They're going to go to their
yeah,
school district. That's what they're going to do. And
yeah.
good luck on closing that gap. So, but welcome, Micaela.
Hi, everybody.
Hi, Micaela. We're talking about the funding from Elon Musk. We just started talking about that and just wondering where it's going to go. But Miss Micaela has some news for us. Want to give her a little bit of time for her to speak on it. Go ahead, Miss Micaela.
Thank you for the opportunity. Well, today is Earth Day, and in my new role within the district, I am overseeing recycling. And unfortunately, because of the weather, our recycling rally was canceled on last past Saturday. We had 3 schools participating. We had Russell Elementary with their kids. They were going to do a rap song, and it's very unfortunate because it was a very nice song that they had prepared for everybody. We had Olivera Middle School as well, and they were going to do a recycling poem, and then Veterans Memorial. It's very exciting in BISD because we did introduce something called commingled recycling. Every campus and administrative property does have a recycling container. It is red container, like a garbage, the ones we see. And you can place there paper, plastic, cardboard, and tin. And of course, we want to promote recycling. We want to save our planet. We want to make sure we leave something for our kids in the future. And the only way is, of course, starting from school, teaching our kids so that our kids can teach our parents and so on. But it is exciting. I'm learning a lot, and it's incredible what kids can do. They're motivated. I mean, they tell each other, you know what, let's do this, let's do that. Don't litter. Make sure that it is a plastic that we can recycle. They promote each other. We did have our first annual recycling competition. I will not announce the winners here because it's going to be something that the district will do. But every campus was actually competing to see who recycled more per person. So we got the enrollment person or the students, and then we added, of course, the enrollment for all the staff. And then whatever pounds they recycled, we divided it by that number, and that's how we got the per person recycling. And as I mentioned, it is very exciting. We also had an art competition. Very talented kids, very talented. I was overwhelmed with their artistic ability. And of course, we had winners as well. Like I said, it was very unfortunate that we were not able to have the rally. We were going to have all that. I hope that in the near future, we will be able to schedule it so everybody can see it. I am working with the city, the beautification committee, to see how we can carry this out, not only at the campuses, but also throughout the city. So again, this is all new to me, but it's very, very exciting. And I really hope that people get motivated and they encourage each other to recycle.
That's really great. I love that.
So are you seeing pretty much participation across the board with all the campuses? Everybody's like jumping on into this?
I think so. This was approved by our board of trustees back in November. By the time we got the bins at every location, it was January. So they started off recycling not as much, but in March, that's the month that we actually consider for the competition, you could see the difference. So what I have learned is that 50% of the kitchen, the cafeteria trash, if we want to call it that way, can be recycled. So, like I said, we don't have to remove staples. We don't have to remove covers. If, let's say they have those workbooks at the end of the school year, they consume part of it, they can recycle the remaining. So again, we want to encourage people to recycle. We want to make sure that we leave something better for our kids and they have something for their kids as well. So pass it forward. We just pass it forward.
I love that.
Wow. So y'all sent out like a breakdown of what it is that can be recycled, what they can do on their parts, and things like that?
That is correct. I also did have a survey. I contacted all the schools to see how many schools had recycling teams. We don't have one in every campus, but I'm praying that by the beginning of the new year, we'll have one in every campus. So
Micaela, when you were mentioning that it's one big red can, right? Or
yes,
bin or whatever they're called. And all of that goes in there. How do you what happens to that bin? Like, where does it go? How does it get separated?
good question. We did have a bid, and we do have a recycling company that goes and picks it up. I think elementary is 3 days, high school maybe more. And of course, you put everything in there: the plastic, the paper, the cardboard, the tin. Then they, just like the garbage company, they go pick it up, they take it to their plant. And since it's all commingled, it's all mixed in one area.
Mm-hmm.
You have, and you know what? We do have a video that we haven't released on the plant where they do the recycling.
Nice.
They throw everything in, and then it goes through like a conveyor belt, and they start separating everything. They put all the plastic on one side, they put all the cardboard on another side, and they keep going through that process. And then they package it up to send it to another company so they can actually turn it to another item, whether it be more plastic or more recycled paper. And again, the thing is not to take it to the landfills. The thing is to reuse it again and make sure we get another product. And be conscious about how it affects global warming. We've seen it, how the weather is different from what it was several years ago. So everything that we do, even if it's just something very small, it will have a big impact in the future.
And another kind of, I guess, important question that I'm sure people are wondering is, what does it cost the district?
It actually, there is a cost, because remember, just like we have the trash collection here in the city, it is half the cost. But the most important thing is that we're saving our planet. So there is a cost saving. So if we pay, for example, $30 for the collection of trash, we're probably paying $15 for recycling. So there is a cost savings, but most importantly, what we're doing to protect our planet.
I think
and I want to mention that this week, I think it's until the first week of May, they call it Texas Lights Out. There is a migration of birds, and with the lights, the city lights, they may be confused as to where they're going. So they're recommending that people turn off their lights at night so that, I guess, they don't get distracted. And I don't know much about science, but I'm learning, and it's so important to see what our impact does to our environment and nature and animals in general. So I'm learning a lot. I'm very excited.
I see it, and you're so creative. Like, you come up with the best things, and so I'm excited to see what's going to come of this when we're, once it's been like a full year and it's been moving, and the train is going. You know what I mean? So
I'm researching a lot. I love to research, and one of the things I also realized is that we have Take Care of Texas. They have a competition talking about fine arts where they can do videos, and then based on their videos, they can get scholarships for school.
I love that.
So I'm trying to get all that going. I have a lot of support from a lot of people from administration. I've been very fortunate. I'm going to mention just a few. I hope I don't forget anyone. But I have Mr. Moody from Public Information helping me with all the advertisement and all the information going out. I have a fine arts director, Mr. Garcia, who helped me with the art competition. He was able to get all the art going into one location and, of course, get the judging going. And now we have the winners. We have the teachers. The teachers who are actually the sponsors of these clubs, who are very passionate. And what I also love is that the word is getting out there. We had someone from SpaceX reach out to us because they also want to get involved. We had someone from the University UTRGV also reaching out. So I'm really hoping that this is just the foundation to something that will be a lot bigger. Like I said, there isn't a recycling club in every campus, but my goal is that we do have one because, again, the kids are our leaders of the future and they will make a difference.
Yeah, they will. Yes, they will.
So then something that, because I always wonder, okay, like what can we do or what can anybody that's listening do? They can then reach out to their principal if they don't know if there is something going on at their campus in order to, and we know everybody has their plate full, but this is something that is very important because it does set a very good example, and you don't realize how much it can expand, you know, because these students will see it at school and they can take that home and just be a little bit more aware of what they can do on their part. So if anyone out there, you don't see that they have the clubs going for recycling, then they can reach out to their principal. Or is there anything up on the webpage for that department, or how could they get more information, Michaela?
Well, you can go to the Records Management and Recycling Department website, and I do have information there. And I also have links. There's a lot of organizations that are willing to help. And just last week, we had the Great American Cleanup. And I'm ashamed to say that I didn't know about it before, but it's actually a national event where they go out on the streets and they pick up litter. And
wow.
Like I said, something so little where you get a straw and you take off the paper and you throw it out. Well, that accumulates and it makes our cities look ugly. So again, there's a lot of organizations out there. There's a lot of things that we can do. And most importantly, we can teach our kids to be responsible and see that everything has an impact. Everything. Like the lights, turning off the lights so that the birds know their way and they were able to migrate wherever they need to go. Something as just turning off the lights.
Yeah.
I had never even heard of that. I had never heard of that. So I find that very interesting. And knowing that, can research it and then turn around and bring that up in my classroom with my kids.
Right. And keep in mind that employees are also encouraged to bring their recycling. The containers are there. So we want to take this opportunity that, yes, it's not just what we have at the campuses, but if you have recycling at home and you're looking for a place to take it, take it to school.
Oh, wow.
I love that.
They can bring stuff from home if it needs to be recycled.
Yes. I'll give you an example. We had an alternative school that doesn't have a large population of kids. They were the highest per person pounds recycled, the highest. And it was because of the contributions that the staff brought in.
Wow.
Right.
That's super cool because
really good.
I don't have a recycling bin at home.
And we're hoping, well, at least with the people that I'm speaking to, we're hoping that it won't stop there. We want to make sure that eventually it carries out to our city. I mean, Austin has it, and I'm pretty sure our other larger cities have it. I think McAllen has it, doesn't it, Ida?
Probably. I think we do. Yeah. They have the 2 cans.
There you go. So
that is
exciting
interesting.
time.
I'm going to look into that actually for home, because I mean, if you think about it, if it's going to be half the cost, that's a whole other can that you get. I mean, I'm out in the country, so I'm going to see what's available. But if you can get a whole other can, you're helping out the planet, and it's at half the cost. So that's pretty good. I had not thought about that. So that's good.
I love it.
I like it.
Yes.
There's a question actually on that, Micaela. It says, Ms. Escobar, will you be having a recycling event district-wide or shredding event?
The recycling event that we're hoping to, of course, reschedule from the one that we canceled will not be one where you take stuff and recycle. It's basically to recognize the winners of the art contest and the recycling competition. Shredding event, well, we are working on the shredder, the district-wide shredder, and we're hoping that once it's operational, we'll be able to pick up anything that needs to be shredded. Now, one of the things that I do tell campuses is this: if it's something that you would find in a phone book, that can be thrown or thrown away in the recycling container, not to the landfill. But if it has information that is not found in a phone book, which would be your birthday, your social, then that needs to be shredded.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know if you saw the difference. So if it's a memo that's given out to kids in regards to early dismissal, you can recycle that. But if it's something where it was an enrollment form that has your parents' names, your birthday, your address, your phone number, then that needs to be shredded.
Okay.
Got it.
That's very good. But I do like that. That would be something that would be very beneficial. A recycling event district wide, to open it up, assign a day for that, and I know that would be a lot of work. But can you imagine how many people would be able to bring in things from home? I know I'd take a truckload, but.
Well, you can do that. We do have the recycling center in Brownsville, and I can share this information after the show so that it's available for those that are members or whoever share or view our page, that where the recycling plan is and what they can do and what is recyclable, what is not. That way they know exactly. But the best source right now would be your campuses. And the people who are basically helping our kids are the custodians. So if you see custodians, give them a thanks, because they're actually going through the classrooms and separating what's recyclable and what's actually going to the trash. So if you see that there's anything that has food, it's not recyclable. If it's like I said, the plastic bottles that we use for water, if it's let's see, the workbooks that have been used halfway and they're not going to use it anymore, that can be recycled instead of thrown away. The key is not to take things to the landfill that can be recycled. Mm-hmm. And I will mention this, I don't know it all, but I love to research. If you have any suggestions, please feel free to contact me. I'm always open to improving. But I do love the passion of the kids. I went to see the kids perform as a preview to the event. Oh my goodness, I got the chills because they're excited and they can you can see it in their smile and the way they're singing. I'm very blessed that this is the best part of the new position that I have.
That's awesome. Well, I'm sure you're doing a great job. I mean, I never had a doubt that you always are able to look at things and what's out there, what can be changed and what can be improved. So that is amazing. You're doing a great job. And thank you for all that you're doing on that.
Thank you, Micaela. It's awesome. It's good to motivate the kids and get their minds on something besides COVID and, you know, all the stress and all the sadness and all this negativity, and, you know, something for them to motivate them, to get them engaged and different things like that. It's awesome. So thank you for what you're doing.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So we'll put it on our Facebook page, as far as what you were mentioning, the do's and don'ts, what you can recycle, what you cannot. And so people can start to hopefully get involved. And that's good, because I learned something here that I did not know about recycling. So that's good. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Micaela.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. I'm going to bring up some more comments. A family member of mine is getting told that he may as well come back because eventually they will need to come back. I know that teachers are being forced to say these things, but it's wrong.
Absolutely. I think I really hate that they're doing that. They're pressuring a lot of these students, a lot of the parents, to send the students back. And the reason it's very upsetting is because The district doesn't know why some of these parents are choosing not to send them back yet. Now, would we all love for there to be 100% face-to-face? Yes, that would be perfect. But we don't know what these families are going through. Some of these are going through great losses, illnesses because of this pandemic. There's a lot of things. And so it's not as easy. I mean, Gutierrez is just looking at, oh, we got to close this gap and this and that. You know what? For some people are holding on for dear life. My gosh, trying to survive during this. So yes, we would love everybody to be face to face. But what we're pushing for and what we're fighting for and advocating for is we still have to give these people that option. We still have to provide all the benefits of education virtually if that's what they're choosing to take. Stop pressuring them. Stop threatening them to come back face to face. You cannot do that. You cannot withhold any elective classes just because they're choosing to stay on virtually. So I hope BISD realizes they need to wake up on this because they're going to drive these students away from BISD, and they cannot do that. And I'm sorry, there's great things, great people that have come out of BISD. And I know you know one special person. I know, Vero, that, you know, your son. You're all BISD proud. And your son has been a great success because of the education and the fine arts experience that he got at BISD. So who knows how his life would have been if he would have been in a private school or a charter school. But it's because of the great people at BISD that your son was able to flourish into this wonderful person that he is now. So, you know, let's stop pushing the people away. My goodness.
Yep.
So, Snoopy, to them, I would say they need to stand their ground. If they want virtual instruction, they're going to get virtual instruction.
Amen. It's inhumane. They don't do anything for special needs kids. They are the lost and forgotten children of BISD.
That is very true. And you being a teacher in special ed, you know exactly what Lupita is talking about, because you get to see that a lot.
Mm-hmm. I sure do.
So
It's
hopefully
really
that's something, yeah. They should give teacher bonuses this year.
Not wait until next year.
I agree with that. And that's something that we're going to be lobbying the school board members about. If other districts are doing it, like I mentioned, Socorro is doing it. They're not a wealthy district, but they're able to do that. They're able to take care of their staff, to give a bonus in May and another bonus in December, plus a 4% raise. I mean, come on. Then we can do better than that. And they don't have no Elon Musk money up there.
Let's see. Why not send out a needs assessment for all BISD teachers, SPED, paraprofessionals, custodians, etc., to have a say of what they need at the campus level? These answers can be taken into account in how the monies are dispersed. Just a thought. It's an excellent thought.
Yep, absolutely. That's something that, yeah, like we mentioned earlier, we need to get input from our people. They're the ones who know best as to what's needed. Yep. Instead of these people at the top thinking that they know, that they have all the answers and they know what exactly is needed. And yes, you're going to get some crazy ideas, some crazy feedback, but you're going to get some good ideas. I can guarantee you that. That is one thing that I'm so proud of that we're able to do. We're able to, I know, and sometimes, we might be a pain to some of our members, but we value your input. We're able to take your input, and we see some of the feedback that we get is very valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we get some crazy comments at times, and that's okay. But we do get a lot of good input, a lot of great ideas. And who's going to know best? I mean, I'm not going to know better. I'm not in the classroom like you all are.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not in the custodial department or maintenance or food service. That's why it's important for us to hear from you. That's why it's important to try to give us that feedback when we ask for it, because it makes a difference. We have several different things that we're looking into, several things that we're working on, especially on this last one. Oh my gosh, the respect campaign that we're pushing. Some of the feedback that we've gotten from some of the campuses and some departments, it's sad to say what's going on out there.
Very sad. Very, very sad and upsetting.
Yes.
Like, it infuriates me.
But it's getting exposed. It's going to get exposed.
And it's going to get exposed, but beyond the exposing, I want to see what the administration does with it.
Yep. Well, we have some things that they're working on. So we'll see.
Good afternoon, all. Good afternoon, DJ. Joe Rodriguez, whatever happened to Schoology?
Well, it's out there. I think it's not consistent. Some of the district did back off on the pressure of everybody was gonna have to use it and this and that. So I believe it's varying from campus to campus. Some campuses are using it a lot, and some are not. So I think they heard the concerns that were brought forward on that. To bring it in at mid-year was a bad idea, not well thought out. So I think they were able to get a little bit more lenient on it. But there's some campuses that really did embrace it. There were some campuses that got a lot more training on it. So there's some that are using it a little bit more than others. So it's out there in some of the campuses.
Yeah, it is. Good afternoon, Miss Lucy. Sir, all of my son's teachers at the middle school use it, and we love it. His campus is doing very well, and also my niece, Schoology, is being used more. It is being used more, but it's not being used by everybody.
Yeah, I think it's more of your elementary campuses that are not using it, but some, like I said, some of them really did embrace it, and but it was all on the training that they got.
Quick question. What is the deal with campuses asking teachers to do attendance corrections? Isn't that going to get teachers in trouble?
Yes, it is, guys. That has also been brought to our attention. Some campuses are asking them to submit blank attendance sheets and things like that. And that's going to get looked into. That is not right, guys. You know what is right and what is wrong. You have the right to question that. I can't believe.
And there are some corrections that can be made. So, for example, if a child hasn't logged in and they turn in an assignment at 7 or 8 or 9 p.m., then of course you make the correction because they've submitted the assignment and now they're counted present. Those kinds of corrections, of course. But those aren't the ones we're talking about.
Correct. There are some that, you cannot be submitting a blank one and just sign it and turn it in. Mm-hmm. Cannot be done. So there is some campuses that we're looking into on that. But if you feel you need to reach out to us, your information is confidential. We don't expose any names or anything like that. But we do look into certain situations. But we would never expose your name without your consent. and let us know if this is going on at your campus, because that is absolutely not right.
Not okay. Good evening, ladies. Thank you for all you do. Thank you, Ms. Reyes.
Thank you, Ms. Reyes.
What campus are you at? I think that was the question for the Schoology.
Oh, yeah.
I already did this one. Sounds awesome. I hadn't heard about it. Yeah, I hadn't heard about it either, Lucero. So it's really interesting, and I mean, I'm gonna look into it at my campus and see
About the recycle?
if we have a group, or if
Yeah. One more thing for you to do.
I have literally been locked in my classroom with like papers like this. I had my dean come into my classroom today to ask me something, and I had I'm like, please don't look at my table. I have a lot of art. I have a lot of paperwork. Don't look at my table. Please don't judge me. Very good info. Many of us don't know what to throw or shred sometimes. Yes, very true. Good evening. Good evening, Miss Peppermint. The kids are just fine. They brought them back to help their mental health with excessive overreacting. The kids should be fine now that they're helping their mental health by bringing them back to make them do tons and tons of testing. Well, testing's good for your mental health. I'm just kidding. Joking. I'm joking.
Yeah.
Should get money. Our personal phones are used to contact parents daily.
We agree.
Yeah, there's very few classrooms that have phones in them, and so yes, that is very true. Because we're being told to look for the kids and contact and this and that, and so if you don't have a phone in your classroom, it's easier to use your cell phone because you don't want to have to walk across the campus because you only have 45 minutes to be able to be calling people. So yeah, a lot of people are using their phones, and you can contact either calling or through Class Dojo, and that can be done through your phone as well. So saves a little bit of time.
Yeah.
AOB, ladies, we need to have the option to keep it both virtual and in person with no pressure. My son learns a lot better remote sometimes, even with ADHD. No bullying from some kids. Yeah, actually, my son is doing really good, and he's on his own. I mean, he stays at my mom's, but yes, I have to be on top of him, like, is your camera on, blah, 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 whatever. But I mean, he's ABR and he's doing it on his own.
Yeah. And we're going to push for that. Trust me. Because I think, these people, these certain principals will try to see what they can get away with. And I think it's all from the pressure that is coming from Gutierrez, that he wants everybody face to face. And we got to get him in here. We got to get him in here. And you know what? As long as we're meeting the requirements, the minimum requirements of what is needed face to face, that's all that we need.
Yeah.
Stop trying to push more than that. Okay. We already met that. We're there. We'll get the funding. So that's it. Why are we going to force more people to have to be face to face? They need to understand there's reasons why these people are choosing to continue virtual instruction.
Yep.
So I hope everybody knows out there that we are going to be advocating for that. But also anybody out there that wants to reach out to any of their board members or anyone that they know, please do that. That's what makes a difference.
That's what makes a difference. And you don't have to be an employee. You can be a parent. You can be a community member. You can be whoever. Make the call. You're helping just by making the call.
Absolutely.
Hello, ladies. What have I missed? Sorry, I'm so late. Miss Nelda, you haven't missed anything. We've just been talking about Elon Musk giving us a whole bunch of money, and we want to know where it's going.
Go get some of that money, Miss Nelda.
Let's see. The new website, ladies, is driving me nuts.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You and me both.
I can't stand the new website. Oh my gosh. It was like, I don't know. It's just not, to me, it's not user friendly. I was so used to the other one. I always try to be open-minded about things, and I've been checking it out. It's so difficult to find things.
Yeah.
I can't stand it either.
What used to take me 5 seconds or less to find on the quick links now takes me about maybe 6-7 minutes of time that I can't get back trying to find something. I mean, it's not, no. I agree, Ms. Reyes.
Absolutely.
Question on the recycle, but Ms. Micaela left already. How are the custodians separating the trash? Hopefully they are wearing gloves for their protection, maybe extra recycling containers inside the classrooms or cafeteria so the custodians won't have to risk themselves touching stuff with this pandemic. That's not a bad idea. I don't know that the district would provide that, but I mean, if some of us have like a more than one trash can, we can designate one as a. Actually, I think that we did have. I know for sure at my campus we used to have small blue bins, and that was for paper only. But now that it's going to be everything, maybe we can throw all that stuff in there.
Yeah, and I don't know, maybe if Micaela's still watching, she can kind of answer that to see if they do have that, or if that's something that they're going to look into, because that does make sense. That way they don't have to go through all of that.
Yeah. Hello, Miss Parker. Sorry, I was being sarcastic. I'm just so burned. Oh no, Miss Lupita, we get it. Don't worry, we understand. My son too, but yeah, and actually, so my son and Miss Parker's son are pretty much, I think, in almost all the same classes. They're in honors classes, and so they're not easy classes, and they're doing well on their own. So
why would you send them face to face? And even though he participates in certain activities and things like that, but it's working best for him. Plus, he's safer. Only what risks you have, what people in your family are at a higher risk than others, and we still have to be safe out there. I mean, my gosh.
It's not gone. It's not gone.
Absolutely.
It is not gone. I was trying to type over testing, not overreacting. Autocorrect. I know. Earlier, I was telling somebody thank you, and I put Thanksgiving because I was trying to put thank you, and my phone just put that instead. And then I was like, oops, sorry. I'm not hungry. It was my phone, although I'm always hungry. Admin thinks that this whole pandemic is over, and it's not, Mr. Salazar. It's not. It's nowhere near.
Yep.
Nowhere.
And that's one thing that we are sure that we remind them on. And I know they don't like hearing it, but that's what we speak on, that, this isn't over. They need to stop focusing only on this gap that they're talking about. And like we mentioned at public comments in the last meeting, it's not just this gap that they're going to have to worry about if the numbers start rising or things like that, and what these people are having to go through because of this pandemic. We still need to be careful. We still need to be, with safety in mind. And if the students are able to learn virtually and they're logging on, what's the harm in that? If it's working for them, what's the harm in that?
Yep. It doesn't cost the district more money. It's still the same teachers. Also, if school is going to be face-to-face, will they have alternating days? We have to remember that many schools don't have windows. And so this goes back to the money being used at facilities to make improvements for the health and safety of everybody involved.
Yep.
Having 20 plus students in the classroom without windows is a major risk. Yep.
Definitely.
Some kids are not ready to be in person, and it's such a toll on them emotionally. Yeah, it is.
Definitely.
It really is. They keep talking about how, like Ms. Lupita was saying, even though she was being sarcastic, how they keep saying like they need to come back and it's going to be better for them mentally and emotionally. Well, you know what? Some of them are traumatized by COVID, and they don't want to be around kids. Yeah. They don't want to be around people. They would rather be at home. they're struggling with anxiety all day because they're worried about sanitizing their hands every 5 seconds. They're not even listening to what the teacher's saying because they're too busy worried about, oh, that one sneezed, oh, that one coughed over there, do they have COVID, oh, let me sanitize, or is there a spray? Or I mean, what are they learning? If they would have been at home in a room listening, hey, they'd be listening and learning.
Yep. I mean, and that's the thing. That's what frustrates me with Dr. Gutierrez, that that he doesn't realize. Again, he still has not connected to the population here in Brownsville. He doesn't realize what a lot of these kids have gone through. Unfortunately, loss of a loved one, of a parent, of a close relative that they might have had. You know, there's been a lot of loss lives in this, loss of employment. Their lives have been completely turned around for some of these people because of this pandemic.
Yep.
But we got to close that gap. We got to close that gap. Let me tell you, some of these people, that's the last thing.
Yeah, you're not closing a gap with a child who has anxiety and is forced to be at school. You're not closing the gap with a child who is at school but has lost somebody and is crying all day. You're not closing the gap with the kids that are worried about, oh, somebody's at home sick and they can't focus, and you're not closing the gap. I heard that alternating days is not going to happen, that everybody will be going back to how we were before March 19th.
That hasn't been finalized.
Will they be offering virtual next year as an option for parents? We don't know, Ms. Lopez.
Yeah,
that's a good question.
They haven't decided yet. I would say it's going to be, because we're going to push for that, and TA is not going to take that option away from the districts.
Are we going to talk about fun, fabulous Fridays on different campuses?
What's Fun Fabulous Fridays? I don't know. It's changing.
I don't know. Please explain.
Yeah, because we want to have a Fun Fabulous Friday too.
If they do, what is the plan? To have teachers volunteer for virtual teaching, or are we going to be expected to continue with what we are doing now, virtual and face-to-face? Yep.
Exactly. And how is that going for these teachers? I mean, my gosh.
Since spring break, we have had so many sick kids, and quite a few have been testing positive for COVID, but classrooms are not being closed in some schools for quarantine. What is TEA saying about it? We keep hearing this, Ida. We keep hearing this.
Yeah. We need to have some proof on that. I've heard that, but I haven't gotten any proof where there has been a positive case and that the classroom wasn't closed down. So please do let us know if you know, there's something, you know, besides that you heard. But yeah, because I've heard that, but if I can find out a little bit more details on a case like that, because that should not be the case at all.
And we said no to STAR. If we have to fight next year, we will. Thanks, Lucy. So everyone back, no option of virtual. We don't know yet. That hasn't been finalized yet. We're still there. That's still in the talks. Mm-hmm. I know, Ms. Lupita. I was like, I sent my friend and I was like, I'm not hungry right now. I meant to say thank you.
Yeah.
When I send Ida messages, it sends, instead of saying IDA, which is the spelling of Ida's name, it switches this to AIDA.
Mm-hmm. Or idea.
Or idea, yeah. And I'm like, it's not me. I promise I know how to spell your name. The new cases in Cameron County have been school-age kids. Yeah, that's because that's another thing that's important. Yeah. One, I don't know that schools are being disinfected the way they should be, because I don't think any custodian has been trained the way they should be trained as far as disinfecting goes. And two, that's the age that has not been vaccinated. And they're carrying it around back and forth. Ms. Micaela, there are designated recycle cans separate from the trash cans. Custodians do not separate recyclables from the trash can. So there's already bins in there for recycling, and the custodians just grab that bag and put it in the recycle.
Oh,
So,
okay.
thank you, Ms. Micaela.
That's good to know.
Admin doesn't even think the pandemic has started.
Yeah, they're a little behind on it. Well, no, I mean, if you think about it, because Dr. Gutierrez is not at risk like everybody else. And I believe he was one of the first ones that got the vaccine. So, pues, que padre.
Yeah.
So I got a text on what that Fun Friday is.
Okay.
It is, I don't know if this is at all campuses, but please let us know, you guys, if this is what they're doing at your campus. They are going to be participating in fun activities, the students from 1:30 to 3 p.m. All students on Fridays. There's no agenda, no planning. The teachers have to come up with the idea of what they're supposed to do. But Fridays are going to be Fun Fridays, guys. We had to come up with it on the fly. We have about 50. There's 50 some per grade level. And it starts this Friday. And I bet you anything they were probably just told about it. So, so is everybody having a Fun Friday? And if so, let us know so we can go check out your campus. We want to participate in Fun Friday. I'm kidding. But let us know if this is something district-wide. I had not heard about that. That is very interesting. So this is why we're forcing everybody to be face-to-face? That is ridiculous. What do you think about that, Ms. Vero? Are you ready for Fun Friday?
I'm just ready for fun. But what I'm actually ready for is the fun summer. I'm just ready to get out. Like, I'm done. I'm tired. Like, this has been a really long year. And by long year, I mean, like, since the pandemic started, it's been exhausting and emotional and tough. So I'm just looking forward to the school year ending. But I know for us, we have like pajamas on Fridays and,
yes, I've seen the different themes. Everybody's familiar with. I'm sorry, I have to get Chico because he's like gnawing away on my leg. But I've seen the different themes that they do, and I get that. But a Fun Friday, how is that? Is that what we're pushing everybody to come for face to face?
mm-hmm.
I mean, that's why it's so important to get them in here. That just doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, wow. That is ridiculous. So let me know if that's going on at your campus, or maybe it's just this one campus. I think like some of these principals, they've told them, hey, you really have to think outside the box of how to get them back, because this is the first one that I had heard of. And it's just, how is that going to help these students? How is that closing the gap? That's what I want to know. How is that going to help close this gap that they keep talking about? And I don't see that that's going to happen with a Fun Friday. That's why they need them face to face. And plus,
it's just kind of like, it's like confusing. Like, in one sentence, you're saying everybody needs to be back because there's this huge gap, there's this blah, blah, blah. And then in the next sentence, let's have a day off during the week to have fun.
Yeah. That's why we got to get them in there. That's why they don't realize how much it stresses out, besides stressing out these kids that are going through a lot of issues and stuff because of this pandemic. Some of these parents are very stressed out about sending off their kids to school. And then you're sending them off for a Fun Friday?
I wonder if how much money teachers are spending on this Fun Friday.
Yeah. What is the campus going to provide for them? Or is this yet another thing that is out of pocket?
Yeah.
I am definitely writing this one down because that is ridiculous. Fun Friday. Wow.
Fun Friday. I mean, pajama day is, we all have pajamas. That's free.
Yeah. And you can, just go in your warm-ups if you want. You don't have to go and spend money on that.
Yeah.
But wow. So let us know if this is at your campus, please. But yeah. How is that going to close the gap, guys? Dr. Gutierrez, how is this closing the gap? Having a fun Friday? Wow. Upsetting.
Miss Parker, we do want him to go back in person next year. For now, he's finishing the year at home. We can tell he's starting to get tired of not seeing other students. Yeah, mine too, but I just feel like it's safer. I do let him sometimes do some stuff when I know that the parents have been vaccinated or whatever. Like it's really weird because never in my life would I think that would be a part of my conversation. Are y'all vaccinated?
Yeah, I know, right? Yeah.
But it is. I mean, it is. Well, it is for me anyway. Already traumatized by COVID, so now let's traumatize them even more with testing.
Yep. Bring on the testing now.
But testing is to help the mental stability.
Yes.
And mental health.
And because it gives such an accurate picture of where the student is at.
Exactly. That
was sarcasm. Okay. Sometimes my sarcasm is so good, people don't pick up on it.
But sometimes it is not that virtual is best for the students. It is on what is convenient to the parent. Not all elementary students are disciplined enough to log in at 8:15. No, they're not. They're not. But and I can tell you that mine is in middle school and he really is not disciplined enough. I have to be like, are you in class? Blah, 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 whatever. Checking on him, like, because I need to make sure he's doing what he needs to be doing.
Yep.
And it is beyond not convenient for me.
Yeah.
For him to not be in school, because if he was in school, I wouldn't have to be checking and making sure.
But you have your reasons why, and you have the right to choose that.
Yeah, it's way safer.
That's your choice.
Doing both is hard. Yeah, it is.
Definitely
I like the idea of vocational classes being taught to our kids. Some are not college material and learning to weld, carpentry, mechanics, and all other cool stuff that we need to do. Yeah, for sure.
Definitely,
yes. That doesn't negate all the other departments and activities and things that money can go into.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, for sure. We need money in there as well. But, then you need to think about all the other stuff that people can make a living off of. How are we doing, ladies? Hi, Mr. Cisneros.
Hey there, stranger.
I'm waiting for his pretty comment to me because the last time it was for both of us, and I wanted to just be only direct. Just saying, Mr. Cisneros.
Yes, I got it, Ms. Cheney. Thank you.
Will health insurance cover overwhelmed, overworked, and overstressed employees? What happens if classes are closed and teachers are sent home? Will we still get paid?
If classes are closed, like due to the pandemic?
I think what she's talking about, like if she gets sick, right?
And it goes into the COVID leave then.
I think that's what she says.
Yeah, if you still have your COVID leave available, but if you've already used your 10 days of COVID leave, then nope, you do not get paid.
Kids feel sick, headaches, sore throats, but no fever, so they are given a cough drop or a cold towel and sent back to class.
Yeah, I've heard about that. And that's scary because you're seeing so many people with different symptoms now. And just because they don't have the fever or whatever, they're sending them back. On my name.
Yeah, that's true. It's never done that. It's done AIDA, and then it's done IDEA. So yes, better than I don't know. We are not having Fun Friday, but the classes with the highest numbers get a reward.
Mm.
I guess like the highest numbers in attendance. Yeah. So, I mean, like I said, we're doing pajamas. It's free. The kids do like coming in pajamas. That is fun for them. It's free. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Virginia loves Chico.
Aw, Chico loves you too.
Chico.
Here.
Hi, Papas. He's like, what?
Oh.
Fun Friday with or without social distancing. Yay, Fun Friday. The beginning of return of recess,
There you go.
which should never have been taken away. Just learned about Fun Friday 5 minutes ago when you announced it in someone's post. There you go.
So it's across this campus.
How does Fun Friday close the gap? Thank you,
Yep.
DJ.
Yes.
Fun Friday, yay. Now teachers won't be penalized for being behind on their content or choose to use audios when they read a book.
I love the sarcasm.
Nelda's a very serious person.
I know.
Fun Friday equals money spent by teacher. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yep.
Fun Friday. Never heard of it. This year hasn't been fun.
Definitely not.
Negative.
So I think what it's looking like though is all these campuses are coming up with different ways to encourage the face-to-face. And because some of these ideas, it's just crazy what I've heard from some campuses. And I bet you anything that's what Gutierrez told them. You know what? You all need to find ways to encourage them.
Figure it out. Yeah. Figure it out. And that's why, Ida, it's different everywhere.
Yeah.
Because
Because it's
figure it
crazy.
out. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure it out. Fun Friday. Never heard of it. This year hasn't been fun at all. They are just enticing them to come back for face-to-face, but it's not safe. Playing what? We can't be close together.
Yeah. So what are they going to be playing?
It's allergies. It's allergies, Miss Ida.
That's what I say.
Tiene nada, es alergia. What will happen to teachers that might be put in pool if the campuses have an overage of teachers? That's a great question. When you're pushing students to go to IDEA because of all the things the parents are seeing and hearing and dealing with at the school, what's going to happen?
And that's exactly the conversation I had with some school board members today. That what is this going to do? Eventually it's going to get down to staffing. It's going to hurt staffing if we continue to push our students away. So
Right.
You guys continue to let us know what's going on. You guys can speak up as well. But we are voicing these crazy ideas that they're doing, especially that one of denying the students to participate in electives for choosing virtual instruction.
Yeah.
But this is not a way to do it.
Nope. No se te olvida nada, Miss Vero. No, sir. Aquí lo tengo. Aquí y aquí. When will teacher contracts be dispersed to get signed?
I believe they should be coming in within like the next week or two.
It's usually toward closer to the end of the year. Yeah.
Yeah, it's usually like the beginning of May, no?
Yeah, like the first or second week. Although second week is Star Week, so it might be the week after that. We do Kahoot on Friday. See, but Kahoot is educational. So that's okay because they're practicing, they're still studying even when you're doing Kahoot.
What's Kahoot?
It's like an educational game that the kids play. It's an interactive game, and you pick like a science subject. The subject is science, right? And then it asks all these questions, and they're all playing and answering, and then it kind of puts them in order. Like it scores, "Ay, qué bonitos dientes," and it kind of it ranks them as to who's getting the right answers and all that.
Oh,
I mean,
okay.
it's a game, but it's they're studying, they're practicing.
Yeah. And it's safe and it doesn't cost you anything.
No, because it's either it's free or it's part of your like the learning platforms. Although some people do pay for the additional to get the ay que sueño. Some people do pay to get like the extension or like the what is it called? Like the full version or whatever.
Oh, okay.
But yeah. It's fun. The kids like that. That's free. The stadium added 2 more games to middle school basketball season at the end of the season, probably trying to motivate students face to face. Hi, Miss Nelda.
Wow.
That's the only serious thing she commented.
She wasn't sarcastic.
He still didn't give me my shout out.
Híjole.
He's leaving me hanging. No, but Mr. Cisneros. Have a good night, sir.
And hopefully your campus will have fun Friday. Well, that was our last comment because Mr. Cisneros still didn't tell me anything. So wow. So it's been interesting. Some good information. Definitely going to look into these different things. One
more thing before we get off, Miss Ida. One more thing. Congress passed 2 different stimulus bills that direct $17.9 billion specifically for public education in Texas. Those funds have not been allocated to where they need to be. They're supposed to be in addition to all the state and local funding for public education that Texas has already committed to spend. They have not set $1 of those federal funds to local school districts or appropriated any funds in SB1, the state's next, the budget for next year. So please call representatives, please call senators, please call anybody you can call and tell them that we need our money. If the federal government sent that for public schools, then they need to put it where it belongs. So
absolutely. And we'll put something up on our Facebook with the different links on that information. But yeah, they have to stop this swapping thing. You know, it's money that is for the public schools, and it needs to already go there. So we're pushing for that. We're fighting for that at the state level, and we're fighting for that at the national level. So please get involved. Reach out to your legislators about that. Let them know how you feel about it. So it's very important.
So can you imagine 17.9 million plus the 2 point something million from Elon Musk? That's almost $20 million.
Yeah.
I probably won't even get paper towels. No comment. Why are you muted yourself?
Because he's barking.
He's talking to me and answering my question. Chico, where is my money gonna go, Chico? You see? He doesn't agree with where the money's going either. He wants to know. Look, see? He's like, Dr. Gutierrez, where is the money gonna go?
He's angry. Igual que la dueña. He's angry because he knows. He's reading through the bull. He knows.
Maybe the district higher ups need to relate the students not returning to face as bad breakups. If you let them go and they come back, it was meant to be. True. Very true. Let him bark, Ida. Let him bark. He's talking. My husband walked in and mentioned the ball drama. About the adding of the 2 extra games. Wow. Well, thank you so much, everybody, for joining us tonight. If you have any questions in reference to I have 2 paras. One has been with the unit for years, and the new one who doesn't do much and gets paid almost as much as the older one because of the raise last year, and you wonder why they leave. Yeah. There's a lot of vacancies in the district, and there's about to be a lot more. Unfortunately. Sad to say, but Miss Ida, Chico, what would you like to say, sir?
He's very upset. I don't blame him. But I do want to remind everybody that early voting is going on right now. Please get involved. Find out about the candidates that are running. I believe there is several city commissioner positions that are up. So find out what the candidates are supporting, what they're about. It's important. It's your duty to please get involved and to go vote. Okay. We can't sit back and just hope and pray that the best person gets into those positions. No, it's your job to find out who it is that's running and why they would be the best person for that job. So please make sure to get involved. We'll post some of the information as well about the election sites and where you can go and vote. But I really encourage everybody to go to vote during early voting.
Yeah, so during early voting, some of the places, and like Ida said, we'll post it. The Cameron County Judicial Complex on Harrison, the Brownsville Public Library on Central, Southmost Public Library on Southmost, Texas Southmost College at Jacob Brown Auditorium, the New Horizon Medical Center, Good Shepherd Community Church on Morrison, and the Brownsville Event Center. So those are the places that you can go for early voting. And most of the places have voting times from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Monday through Friday. On Saturday, they will have voting from 10 to 5. And then Monday and Tuesday from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. So your last day to vote will be April 27th. That's your last day to vote. So.
Yeah. Oh, and one more thing that I do want to touch on is that they're going to try to remove from public audience the virtual capability to speak. So as many of you know, we're the only association that speaks up and expresses our concerns, your issues. We express them there virtually. So they are talking about possibly removing that. So please do your part. If you know any of the school board members, reach out to them and let them know they cannot remove that. They should not remove it, because we should try to be listening to everybody that we can. And there's plenty of people that have certain reasons of why they cannot speak or go to speak in person. So that's why they need to have virtual public audience available. It doesn't cost the district a thing to be able to provide that service. So please don't let them silence your voice, because our voice, what we're expressing there, are the concerns that are brought to us by you. So like I said, we're hoping that they reconsider that. But apparently in May, they're saying that it's going to be the last public audience that's going to be available virtually. So we encourage you all to please speak up on that.
Miss Lopez, he's so cute.
Thank you.
Take out. Thank you, ladies. Have a great night. Thank you, Ms. Lopez. Thank you, everybody, for joining us. Thank you for staying on with us for the hour and a half, and for the conversation that we've had. Of course, like Ida said, if there's anything going on at your campus, please message us with it. We do have a lot of calls coming in, and so please know that if you are not a member, unfortunately, you will not be a priority, because we do have to prioritize the members that we have that are paying members. And so, if you are not a member, you can send us your question. And if we have time to get to it, we will get to it. If we don't have time, I apologize, but we do have to prioritize the ones that are our members first. So thank you so much again for joining us. Hang in there, guys. We're almost done with this school year. And take care of each other, check in on each other, motivate each other, push each other. We're going to get through this together, and we will see you next week. So thank you so much for joining us. Good night, guys.
Good night.